Welcome back to Popcorn and Beers. We've got Jordan's Drunken Classic, Sadie Silverman, and then we've got a few butter on tops in Americana and Honeydome. Go. The show is back each and every week. 52 weeks of movies. This is the only show we do that doesn't get a day off. But here we are. How dare we enjoy watching entertainment, just like your mother's, sisters, brothers, kittens, dogs, anacondas, cats' favorite movie podcast. That's right. It is Popcorn and Beers. Welcome back to the show where some use tomatoes and others use thumbs. We use the stuff that gets you drunk. Ooh, this is like it was a little
Bubbles.
fizzy. Mine was fizzy. I got a Warsteiner. I think that's how you say that here in Germany.
Ooh, nice. I got some bubbles.
You did get some bublés. What did you think of that clip we threw together for Gorp, Josh, with Michael Bublé playing in the background of your Disney movie?
That's good. That's good. It's a little ham-handed, a little cute. I approve.
Sometimes you got to do it. I've got all these reels that says TikTok doesn't care how hard you work. So I was like, fine, I'm just going to do it for me then. I'm just going to do it for me. I'm not going to hold up a strawberry refresher Starbucks. I'm just going to have fun with this. Just like I had fun with our butter on top. Now, the butter on top that Jordan selected was not out over here in Germany, and I only think it came out in select theaters in the United States. So I was able to see a couple other films, as you heard on the intro. I went ahead and saw Americana, and we'll start there. That is Paul Walter Hauser, Sidney Sweeney, and Halsey. I believe that it's one of the director's first main films. Like, it's not like a big budget, but one of his like actual theatrical release films. Let me make sure that I'm not giving you guys misinformation here. Let me see here. Tony Toast. So let's look at his filmography really quick. It looks like he's got a few though. He looks
Tony Toast?
like he's directed one or two movies in his life, like just staring at him. So we've got Damnation, which is a television show, All Day and a Night in 2020. I've never heard of that. And then he directed something called Johnny Cash Song by Song.
Okay, so this is his first movie. Let's just go with that.
Now,
tell me about
this
Americana.
movie is labeled as like a neo-western. It is a current day western, and it was a ride. I'm not gonna say it wasn't a ride. It was told in chapters, and it was interesting. Now, Sidney Sweeney is doing her best in this. She's got a stammer in it, and she is a waitress or a bartender at like a little, not bartender, pardon me, a server at a diner in this little town in I believe they're in South Dakota, I want to say, right outside of Wyoming, about 200 miles from Wyoming. And she dreams of being a country singer. And Paul Walter Hauser plays Lefty, who is right-handed. And he lets people know that I'm Lefty by birth name, but I am right-handed. And he does a fantastic job. And here's the thing with their chemistry. He is a great actor. He's quickly becoming one of my favorite actors, like a must-see if he's in a movie.
Okay.
And Sidney Sweeney isn't that for me. But what I will say is she's gotten better. She's still not there. Like, doing her best on screen with someone that is a dynamic talent like Paul Walter Hauser, who handles things from, like you've heard Jordan say repeatedly, Karate Kid, Cobra Kai, all the way to Richard Jewell, and being nominated for an Oscar in that. He has range. He's a really solid actor in this, playing a veteran that has a horse ranch that's in love with love. You ever see somebody like that that's just in love with love?
Yeah, never heard of anybody like that.
But pretty down bad. He proposes to everyone that he dates basically by like the third or fourth date. And
Oh.
it is funny, but he is someone that I think more people should kind of search for. He doesn't really judge people. He's kind. He doesn't see the faults in other humans. His character doesn't. And he is happy. He's literally just happy with what he has. No more, no less. Doesn't need more. I think at one point he has a quote where he says, well, why would I need that much money? I've got a nice house. I've got money, great food. He's like, what more could a man like me ask for? And I was like, what a solid attitude. Where
Hmm.
it's like
Yeah.
short on ambition, but but pretty solid. Now you learn more about his character as Sidney Sweeney tries to get a drink at the VFW, and you start to learn more about his character. But the story doesn't center around him. The story centers around Halsey and her brother. There's some twists and turns in this story to include when she goes back home to Wyoming. It is very interesting, and it goes off the rails from the story in this act. I believe this takes place in about the third act, but it goes on to the rails of action, and you get a lot of action in this
Oh.
third act. Like there's a lot going on. There's a lot to pay attention to, and it didn't seem to me to be expedited. It wasn't like they were trying to tie this up. They were telling a story, and they were going to tell this story to the audience regardless of how you felt. So does it go off a little bit? It does. Does it get wrapped up in the end? It absolutely does. Is it on purpose? Does it get wrapped up in an expedient fashion? No. The story is told. You get the full story. You understand the full story. There is a little kid that believes himself to be the reincarnated Sitting Bull, which is a kind of funny little like twist in the storyline, and he's very dedicated to this no matter how many people tell him he is not the reincarnated chief Sitting Bull. And that's a story in itself that leads to its own consequences down the road. Overall, the direction was solid, the soundtrack was good, the score was very good. I would just say the movie is missing little pieces here and there. Halsey was fantastic in
Hmm.
the way that she portrayed her character in this, someone on the run from a cult, and you find out why she's on the run from the cult throughout the movie. Like I said, the whole story is told in Americana, but you really have to decide, is this movie made for someone like me with my tastes, or is it just a decent movie that's watchable? I think that for some people, this is going to be a favorite film of 2025. I really do. There's going to be a certain type of
Hmm.
person that appeals to, that they're going to be like, no, Americana was my
Hmm.
favorite film. It wasn't that for me, but it was good, and it was entertaining. It was not let me pull out my phone and get on my phone film. We're gonna give it a popcorn one and encourage the audience to go see it. Tell us what you think about Sydney Sweeney's turn into playing a character where she may be getting some nominations come award season. I don't think so, but I think we're gonna see her on Gold Derby with some odds.
Okay. Okay. Well, she's trying her best, like you
Got to be
said.
taken seriously at some point, right? Like you, you can't just be looks forever. That career only lasts so long.
Yeah.
It's a good give and take you're giving me here. It's good give and take. It's like
Banter.
the whole aesthetic, the arms crossed, staring off into space. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what boat he's gonna bite. Let me just keep throwing different ones at him until he decides I need to talk about this.
I really don't have much of an opinion on Sydney Sweeney. My thought is really just like we'll see. Like I like what she's done, kinda. Obviously, she's beautiful. Obviously, she's good on camera. I think she's got a lot of promise, but I haven't seen it yet. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
maybe I'm
What
rooting
about
for
Paul
her. I
Walter
guess.
Hauser?
You say that name, and I don't even know what he looks like. Who is that?
Richard
He
Jewell.
keeps getting brought up. What's Richard Jewell?
Have you seen Cruella?
No.
Ooh. And you don't watch Cobra Kai.
Let me just look
You
at his
know this actor.
stinking
You've seen
picture.
him in a lot. Blackbird. Did you watch Blackbird on Apple TV?
No.
I
Paul
know you know who this is.
Walter
Yeah.
Hauser. Oh, the guy from I Think You Should Leave. Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
he in
Paul
I Think
Walter
You Should
Hauser's
Leave?
great.
Was
Yeah,
he?
he's the one who's Jimmy what's his face keeps stealing his lines. Yeah.
I gotta rewatch it. I don't remember that.
Yeah. Or
That's funny.
he's in this play, and they're talking about his wife, and yeah, he's great. I've seen him in some stuff. He was in one of those documentaries about a crime where he played a guy based on true story.
Oh,
He was accused of being a terrorist, but he was really just a security guard. He's great.
he's he's
He was
also in
Mole
I,
Man in
Tonya.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah. He's
Ah,
in Fantastic Four. Yeah. Have you seen I,
yeah.
Tonya?
No.
Great movie. He's
Yeah, I don't
also in
watch a lot of
that.
movies. I don't know what I'm doing this show for.
You don't have to be committed to Paul
Golly.
Walter Hauser films. Let's
No,
do the
I'm a big
second.
fan of him. I think he's got nothing but juice, and I can't wait for him to do more.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm stoked that he's getting all this play right now over the summer. It's like he's low key right now. Pedro Pascal. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but Pedro Pascal's been in literally every movie this summer.
Mm,
Literally every film that's come
yeah,
out
he's
has
like
Pedro
the
Pascal
man
doing
right now,
something.
for sure. Oh, you
He's
know what else Paul Walter Hauser was in was one episode of Sunny in Philly. He played a juggalo.
I believe that. And that works. That super works. Let's do
Yeah.
let's do our other butter on top. Let's do Honeydome. Now, I told you guys privately about this film in our chat.
Yeah.
It is Margaret Qualley, or Qualley, however you pronounce her last name, Qualley, and then Aubrey Plaza, Charlie Day, and Chris Evans. This movie is a sex-filled romp through a private investigator's search to solve not only a murder, but also the disappearance of her niece. It is
Mm.
it is so sexually charged. There is full frontal in 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Titles go up,
Whoa.
boom, full frontal. Like right away.
It's very uncharacteristic of the times. You get less and less sex scenes and stuff these days, and that would went the whole other way.
Yeah. Yeah, it is so strong in sexual content. There were young people apologizing to their parents leaving the theater saying, I didn't know it was going to be that. Literally. Like, it was that much, and it's intense, and you see a lot. And you see a lot of Chris Evans. There's a lot of Chris Evans going on, playing the charismatic preacher, and very interesting role for him. It is like you were saying about Eddie Murphy when we watched Beverly Hills Cop. He's just so damn charismatic. And he's that. Chris Evans is that in this role as the preacher. Margaret Qualley does fantastic in her role, but it's very tight. It's a very tight role. There's not a lot of movement in her character. Her character is her character. It's a serious role with some wisecracks here and there that's tired of being hit on by men left and right. We'll let them know it. It is very funny, the chemistry that she has with Charlie Day, though. Charlie Day's character continuously asks her out. Every time she comes into the police precinct, Charlie Day is a detective, and every time he asks her out, she has book club. And I can't remember what book she said, but it was like an epic. She likes, yeah, it's a really tough book. And then she quotes some epic to Charlie Day. And his character is very surface level as well. But then you have Aubrey Plaza, who plays Aubrey Plaza in this. Very much herself. And what we've come to know as an Aubrey Plaza character. There wasn't too much she needed to do to pull this off. However, the movie was incredibly enjoyable. Like from start to finish, I was in. I was like, okay, if this is what this movie is, let's go. And it's like part noir, part action drama, and you're kind of, if you are interested in a film like this, like trying to figure out what's going on, it tells you just enough to keep you in throughout the entire film. It's only an hour and 27 minutes. It's a very quick ride, but I was telling you, Josh, on the text, every 15 minutes, there's a new sex scene. Like every 15 minutes of an hour and 27-minute movie, there's a new sex scene. So I don't know if they were using those scenes as a device to keep the audience engaged in what was going on or to continuously like shock you back, but like it was a good movie without it. I don't know that it was necessary to the plot. Like the movie followed its path very well. I was very entertained. The soundtrack was fantastic in the movie. It was a great soundtrack, and I think that this movie's like the sound mixing was phenomenal. The sound mixing in this movie was
Hmm.
amazing, and they want you to know, like, lots of ASMR stuff going on, lots and lots of ASMR stuff, from the clacking of heels to the licking of lips to the slurping of beverages. Like, the sound was on 11. Oh, here we go. There's a quote when the PI, the private investigator, is talking to the family of the deceased, and the family of the deceased has this to say about asking around in their area about the question that was asked of them. Someone from this family calling a detective, that's like someone without cable calling the cable company. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm
Okay.
gonna give this one a popcorn and two. I'm gonna say if you're somebody that's not gonna
Wow.
shy away from sexual content, go check out Honeydome. It was a really fun movie.
I don't know how I feel about sex scenes, but whatever. Check it out. I love a
They're
private
not
eye.
gentle. They're not gentle sex scenes either. They are
Mm.
in your face, HBO After Dark Skinamax style sex scenes.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well, anyway, what was your rating for Americana?
Popcorn one for Americana.
Popcorn one. Okay.
Yeah, I did the old double feature,
What about
Josh. I
the
did the
old?
old double feature.
Oh, like same time, same day?
Same day. Yeah, Americana was an hour and
Wow.
47 minutes. And then Honey Don't played literally like 2 hours after that. So I had like a little 15-minute break and then went and saw Honey
Hmm.
Don't. And that was only an hour and 27 minutes. So it worked out. It was good, but it kind of allows you to really
Cool.
do the side by side comparison of the two films.
Yeah. Yeah. I love a double feature. It's been a long time. What about our drunk classic, dude? I gotta ask.
Yeah, I
Tell
watched
me.
it right away. It was on my list, Josh. It was also on my list. So I I think this movie's hilarious. Like I did the single nacho quote. I forgot about the come on, yeah! Like because I used to do that a lot when this movie came out. Like for no reason, you know. Just that was like Jack Black at Jack Blackiest. And it you really do get that in this movie. What did you think?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you do get Jack Black. Just in case you didn't know who he was by then yeah, this is definitely Jack Black. Or Orange County was one that we're establishing a Jack Black. This is fully established Jack Black. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
I'd seen this before. I think the first time I saw it was years after it came out, so I wasn't in the scene when I watched this movie, and this movie is so out of date to me. It's I'd say it's enjoyable, you know, but it's one of those where it's like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's corny. It's corny AF. It's unbelievable AF. But I don't know. It still has a charm. I still like. I mean, Steve Zahn's always great. Jack Black's always great. American Pie guy is in movies, and
Jason Biggs.
you know, yeah, Jason Biggs. Like he's there. He's not bad. Whatever. The premise of the movie is cute. The
Amanda
delivery is
Peet.
cute. Amanda Peet, I like she was in an HBO show. I forgot what it's called, but she's very good in that, and she was okay in this. Like she's a good villain in this. Like she was really good at being
Yeah.
evil. And maybe it's one of those where it's like kind of too close to home because I was Jason Biggs, you know. But yeah, I dated a devil woman once upon a time, and
Yeah.
she dragged me
Say it
away
again, and
from
I'll take away
friends.
your
Blah 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 blah.
masturbation
But
privileges.
but yeah, it's such a ridiculous film. Like in the sense that like on date number 2 we're in love kind of thing,
Yeah.
and but the unbelievability it goes all the way. It doubles down over and over. So it's just like okay, whatever, we're in this, and the hijinks, the stupidity, it's just nonstop. It's silly though. It's 90s silly. I mean, this is a 2000s movie, right? But
Yeah.
very 90s silly and like
2001.
the nuns pumping iron and stuff. I don't know. It's cute. I call it a popcorn movie. I'm not mad that I watched it. I wouldn't say it's a bad movie, but it belongs where it belongs, and that's in the DVD section at Walmart, you know?
You're talking about like the $5 bin, like the bucket, the box of like DVDs, and you
Yeah,
you
yeah,
find it and you're like, oh
yeah,
shit, I'll get this for $5.
yeah. I mean, really, I would never say, "Hey, oh, you got to watch this." Like it's like, "Oh, well, this is on. Okay, we're watching it." Sure, you know. But my favorite part was, "Oh, oh, I'm a mime." Oh, oh, oh.
Yeah. The head coach is funny too. Like the head coach is funny
Yeah. R.I.P.
when she convinces Jack Black that he's gay and he just rides that out.
Yeah. I mean,
No
there's good parts throughout for sure.
no pun intended. Arby's gets a little bit of a shout out here. Arby's gets some product placement.
They tried their best, just like Sidney Sweeney.
No, I laughed. Like I laughed a lot. I couldn't wait to see this. I watched it for free on Pluto TV. So when I saw it was free,
Yeah.
I popped it on. It is a short, quick watch. It is stupid. Like the
Yeah.
Hall of Neil is dumb. I remember the joke, that's where my dad dropped me on my head, or that's a picture of my dad dropped me on my head. I remember that from the trailer. That was in the trailer to Saving
Mm.
Silverman, you know? Uh the singing on the boardwalk, Neil Diamond. She got the boost, move me. Like it was the Hispanic singer that replaces Jason Biggs.
Yeah. What are you doing to me, Cherry?
it's it's a crack up. That's really what it is. It's going in full force to make you laugh. That's really what it's doing. It's like, hey, we're just gonna throw a
Yeah.
lot of stuff at you to make you smile. Like that's what this movie is for.
Yeah. It's a
Popcorn.
chortler popcorn.
So we're in agreement. That one's a popcorn. We'll get Jordan's review when Jordan gets back. Jordan, get well soon. We'll see you soon. Let's go on to my next review. How about 48 Hours? When was the last time you saw 48 Hours, Josh?
No, I was too young to even remember what was happening in that movie. Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
seeing it, but it was a long time ago.
You got Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy and the 80s and blatant racism. Just lots and lots of
Huh.
racism going on.
Would you say just as much racism as there is saxophone on the score?
Maybe, maybe just as much. Maybe a tad, a scotch more racism. And I love at the end there is a scene. There's some dialogue between Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte where Nick Nolte goes, "Sorry about all that boy stuff. I don't even believe it, but I got to keep the convict down, you know." Like that's a justification for being utterly terrible to another human being. Do you understand the premise of 48 Hours? Do you understand why the movie's called 48
No,
Hours?
I don't
So
remember it.
essentially, what happens is Nick Nolte ends up on the case that Eddie Murphy was the cellmate of the person that he's trying to find. So in order to
Oh,
do this, he goes to Eddie Murphy to check him out of jail. And he can't do it. The guy says, we can't check him out, but I'll give you 48 hours. You got to have him back in 48 hours.
ah,
Now there's some comedic elements to it here. 48 Hours is a good movie. We're gonna give it a popcorn one, but it is funny that like there's a current of Eddie Murphy throughout the movie just wants to get laid. He's been in prison for I can't remember like
oh,
6 years or something. And
yeah.
he's like, you can't give me 5 minutes. And he goes, you should be ashamed of yourself. And he goes, all right, 10. Like basically it goes on for a while. Like even at the end you get another scene where he basically just like, hey, can I sleep with you, to a woman in a bar, and she's like, you can't ask me better than that, and he's like, I don't have time. so so you have that little bed, that storyline is going on throughout the movie, and there's insane overacting. Just it's it's so overacted that it drives me absolutely crazy, and I don't understand why we were getting away with this type of overacting in movies like this. But 80s, I love cheese though. So why did it pop out to me so much? I don't know. Maybe it was just more than the usual overacting. I wasn't I wasn't used to it, but I love a good fight for no reason, right? In an 80s movie
Mm,
that's action, you got Nick Nolte, you got Eddie Murphy,
yeah,
they just need a fight. Why? No reason.
yeah.
Just have them
No,
fight
yeah.
at some point.
We gotta have a fist fight. Was there a topless woman? Because you know there's got to be a topless woman.
There is a topless woman at certain
Called
points
it.
throughout the movie. It's
Explosion?
the 80s. Not as blatant as Tango and Cash. Remember in Tango and Cash when we watched it, and she just
Yeah.
pops up in the back of the movie for no reason.
Was there an explosion?
There's lots of explosions, lots of gunfire. There
This is
is not
80s.
just racism towards African Americans, Josh, but also Native American racism.
Oh, nice.
There's one more ism. One more. What do you think that
Sexism.
ism's going to be? Yes, you nailed it. You nailed it quite a bit. Quite heavy on that. It's a classic. Many people would tell you it's a classic. So I rewatched it because, like it's been a long time since you'd seen it. It'd been a long time since I'd seen
Yeah.
it. It popped up in my movies under 90 minutes, and I was like, you know what? Let's give this a throw. I haven't seen
Yeah.
this in a long time, so I popped it on while I was cleaning the house. You know, it has a couple scenes where you're gonna sit down, but overall, you don't have to sit down and watch this movie. You get the gist
Mm,
of it when you hear Nick Nolte, Eddie Murphy, right?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's all you need to know. Nolte and Murphy. Two personalities, one explosive movie.
We've got two people. One's a convict, one's a police officer. One's black, one's white. We're not gonna tell you which is which yet, but you kind of know. All right. And then they've got to solve a crime. Oh, well, we got a movie.
Oh, that's a movie right there, man.
All right. So, like I said, Popcorn and One, that one is available on Netflix. As always, we'll give you all everywhere where you can watch these movies at the end of the show. Let's move on to a movie that I watched on Netflix. The Night Always Comes, starring Vanessa Kirby and Jennifer Jason Leigh. It's a story of a struggling sister that is trying to help her mother and her brother, who has Down syndrome, get out of a terrible situation. As they go to purchase a home, their first family home, shenanigans are afoot with the mother, and that leads to the story that she has to get money for the down payment of a home, and she's only got one night to do it, a single night.
Uh-oh.
And then all of a sudden, interesting solutions start presenting themselves. You get to see Randall Park in a role that you never thought you'd see Randall Park in. Do you know who Randall Park is?
No.
You remember WandaVision?
Yes.
And yeah, Randall Park is the agent that keeps tabs on
Oh,
Ant-Man
yeah,
and
yeah,
shows
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
So that's Randall Park. So you see him in a role that you never thought you'd see him in this movie, and that's option one. Then we find that she used to be the daughter, the lead, Vanessa Kirby, used to be a lady of the night. So she goes to her friend who has found a sugar daddy that happens to be a politician. And okay, now we've got a second solution. All right. Now we've got to go to the bouncer of the club to act on the second solution. If we act on the second solution, a third solution presents itself. But wait, there's more. She was turned out by a pawn shop owner before she became a lady of the night, and now we have option 4 to get this money. She has to get $25,000 in 12 hours. And you go on a ride. It is an interesting movie. I think it is a story that we've seen quite a bit, told slightly differently. There's a lot of shock and
Yeah.
awe. There's a lot of look at how terrible people with money are. Look at how terrible they've been able, what terrible ways they've been able to come to getting this money. Look at how they view the less fortunate among them. But also, sometimes if you're less fortunate, you make choices too, and it tries to show both sides of that coin. It tries to show you both, like, hey, she's no angel, but maybe she's no angel because of the circumstance she's been put in.
Yeah.
Maybe she's been put in these circumstances because she was no angel at the beginning. Like it goes through all of these layers, and really, you don't get closure in this story, but you do. Yeah, you don't get closure. There's no closure in this story. So if you're looking for closure out of this movie, you're probably not going to be satisfied with what you get. But You will be satisfied with the story that progresses its way through it. You will be interested in the way they portray the wealthy population. It takes place in the Bay Area of
Mm,
California. So if you're from the region, you kind of know these areas that they're bouncing in and out of. We're going to give it a popcorn. We're going to give
okay.
it a popcorn. But Vanessa Kirby, I'll give her performance a popcorn and one. Vanessa Kirby did a really good job portraying the character that she was portraying. It was a lot. Like it's a lot in this movie, but it's not too much. Like there's not going to be a lot of trigger warnings. It's just situationally. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure. Well,
So,
kind of like a running scared, perhaps.
dude, I said that twice throughout the movie. I was like, this has a lot of elements of running scared. That's funny. And it's actually in my review. I just didn't say it. But
Yeah,
yeah, lots of elements of running scared.
gotcha. Yeah, I feel that. I like those kind of movies. 16
Yeah.
blocks.
Yeah, 16 Blocks was good too, with Most Def. I watched a movie that was also one of our butter on tops, and I couldn't get to it. You couldn't get to it. You probably wouldn't have gotten to it anyway because it is a horror movie. I watched The Monkey. All right. So The
Monkey.
Monkey, yes, yeah, I've been waiting for it to become available, and I'm waiting for Friendship to become available. So stand by for that review because that one is set to release on HBO Max here coming up very soon. But when I saw that The Monkey came across by Oz Perkins, it was his second film after Long Legs, which I really liked. Jordan didn't like as much. He liked The Monkey more than like Long Legs. I liked The Monkey less than I liked Long Legs. It was off the wall. It was ridiculous from jump, but it was entertaining in a comedic way. There's
Okay.
a bus of cheerleaders that are at every murder that occurs, and I found that comical. It takes place in a small town in Maine, and the whole time you're thinking like, how many people could actually exist within this town in the first place? Like, there can't
Mhm.
be this many people for it not to be like ridden with FBI agents that this many murders are occurring in this
Yeah.
little itty bitty town. And then, of course, you never really get an explanation for why the monkey is the monkey. Now, main character is Theo James, and he's pretty much the person that the story's centered around. Now, we have a little drink link. It's pathetic young boys. As I said, man, the kid was so annoying in Nobody Too. All right. So this
Mhm.
kid in The Monkey is so annoying, so irritating. And it's just like, why would you deal with that? Like, why would you put up with that? Or what are you talking about? It's your twin brother. And it presents
Mhm.
itself as like, he was the older one. He never let me forget it. I was like, you're the same person. If you fight, it's going to be a fight to a stalemate. Just stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
Jordan liked it. It's a quick watch. It's an hour and 30 minutes. It is entertaining. There is a lot of humor here from like your very stereotypical stupid small town kid that's just dumb and does things for dumb reasons. Lots of stuff about lost fathers, like fathers that just left their families or fathers that just disappeared from their families, and it made me want to say, "Hey Oz, hey Mr. Oz Perkins, is there something you want to talk about? Is this coming straight from the therapist's couch? Where is all this coming from?"
Yeah, you
So
can't
lots of go ahead.
you can't just pull that out of your butt. Like that came from somewhere.
Yeah. One I think we had 3 absent fathers and we have Elijah Wood playing the guy that's not a father but writes books on being the perfect father. I thought that was I thought that was pretty good. And it's funny because he wants to adopt Theo James's kid and he's like, "Well, I am the leading expert in the field." And the guy goes, "Of fatherhood?" So it's funny. We're gonna give this one a popcorn and one. I don't know if I agree with Jordan in fact, I know I don't agree with Jordan that it was better than Long Legs. I like Long Legs more, but I get it. I get why a lot of people really liked The Monkey, and we're gonna give it a popcorn and one. It's available on Hulu if you want to check it out. Next thing, really quickly, Josh, I watched Killing It, starring Craig Robinson. All right.
Oh, I've been wanting to watch that show.
So, first season, all right, I'm in. right? Let's go down this road. Why is he having to catch these pythons out in the Everglades? All right, following his story. That's interesting. He's down on his luck. He gets kicked out of his house and he lives at a Planet Fitness for a while because there's some situations where you're not allowed to sublease your apartment in where he lives. All right. So he ends up out and he's trying to make this money because he has a dream of starting a Palmero berry farm. And they only grow in Florida's swampy areas with the special type of soil that's out there. And your
Mm-hmm.
story takes off. You get Jillian, the Uber driver. You get his brother, which is just a deplorable human being. And you get season one. That's what you get in season one. Pythons, deplorable human beings, YouTube videos, and Jillian, okay? Season two, I hate watched. I
Huh.
hate watch season two. Yeah, it's the whole series, season one and season two. I hate watch season two because it was over the top ridiculous. One thing after another. Bad, 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 bad thing happened, bad thing happened, bad thing happened. How crazy can we make this show? And I was just like, you can make it so crazy that it's irritating to watch. That's what you did. You is so off the wall that I'm angry that the show exists. Every character is making me mad. Every situation is making me mad. Every line of
Mm-hmm.
dialogue that's delivered is making me mad. I hate this. I
Mm-hmm.
hate season two.
Well,
I'm gonna give
dang.
the show. Yeah. So overall, I'm gonna give it a popcorn. It wasn't great, but if you're looking for a sitcom to throw on in the background, quick watch while you're doing something, throw this on. It has funny elements to it.
Throw
It
it
has
on
funny
there.
character actors. What's that?
Just throw it in. Play your
Was that
Sudoku.
fabulous? Just throw it in the bag.
Sure. Fabulous.
All right. I literally said it's such a frustrating plot that it's no wonder why it got canceled.
Yeah.
It, I
Yeah.
don't
It
know.
was also it was part of that small wave of we gotta just make the next show, and like every streaming service just pumped out shows, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's Peacock too, and it came out when Peacock first started, so it's really just like,
Yeah.
hey, let's get content to launch this new app.
Yeah. Yeah. We got Craig Robinson under contract. Let's do it. All right.
Final review,
Cool.
Josh. Final review. I'm gonna review Freaky Tales,
Ooh.
but I'm gonna strongly encourage Jordan to watch this because though I grew up in the Bay Area of California, Jordan is far more Bay Area oriented than I am. Jordan is far more rooted in that area, and he will really appreciate this. You gotta love that it starts off and continues throughout to be narrated by Too Short, taking place in Oakland in 1987. It's
Hmm.
it's not a real move. It's not a true story, everyone. Okay, it's not real. This is fake, but it's based on real events, and they just took these real events that were occurring in the Bay Area and they made them super extravagant. All right,
Yeah.
so starting with chapter one. The Nazis and the Club of Individuals and Alternative Lifestyles. Yeah. You know what I didn't know and I had to research is how many Nazis existed within that area in the 80s, and
Weird.
apparently it was a very real issue. I didn't realize that until this movie was like put that in front of me, and I paused it. You know, you pause it, you Google it, like, how true is this? Like, how close are we to the truth here? And apparently pretty spot on. Not as extreme as they made it in the movie, but you have to do that to get bite, right? To get you
Yeah.
people in. And of course, in chapter one, it's almost like an anthology series that all gets tied together at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at the end, at the end of, pardon me, chapter one, you have to have these people defend themselves from the Nazis that are breaking in and destroying their fun, their club, simply because they're different, right? Chapter two, bleeding with racism and sexism. You get a picture of the city that you perhaps haven't seen before. As many people that are going to watch movies like this are more in a millennial age demographic to Gen Z, this took place in, like I said, 1987. So we're pushing 40 years, Josh.
Mm.
40 years ago. You're pushing it, and you see a little bit of what was going on there and how people were spoken to, whether it be women of color, or
Yeah.
African Americans in the area. In this, you get the actress that plays Ironheart in
Oh.
chapter 2, and she has a rap group. I'm trying to remember, Danger Zone, and her rap group is chosen to battle against, you guessed it, Too Short. Very funny,
Oh.
very funny, very interesting scene. Lots of takes on like internal panic and imposter syndrome in this, but overall, just a really good scene that leads to chapter 4. But we're not on chapter 4 yet. That's right, we're on chapter 3. Chapter 3 stars Pedro Pascal, and you have an amazing cameo, like an amazing cameo, a cameo that was so good in chapter 3. I was like, this is a really solid cameo. Like, I'm surprised they got this person, but I'm so happy they did, because he played this role. Oops, shouldn't have said he played this role so crisply that it was believable. It was not him playing himself, but you could see the actual person talking about film in this way. And I was like, that was really cool, man. Anyway,
That's a good one.
it progresses through chapter 3 to see, oh, wait a second, this ties to chapter 2. And you get to see how it ties to chapter 2 with the progression of chapter 3. And then in chapter 4, in chapter 4, you get the culmination of everything that's going on. And it's all centered around a Golden State Warriors basketball player, Sleepy Floyd, and all of the Warriors' houses being robbed at once while they're playing in a playoff game, because they knew that all the players and their families would be at this playoff game
Mm.
at, you know exactly what time they're going to be there, you know exactly where they're going to be, and you know exactly how long they're going to be there. So all their
Yeah.
houses get broken into, and it culminates with all these stories converging on this one point. How did all of these people meet up with one another throughout this movie? It's super interesting. It is, the soundtrack is phenomenal. Again, another fantastic soundtrack. I mean, it's very a 1980s. Like, you get
Mhm.
phenomenal music in this movie. You get a great story, well told. Obviously, it's not completely factual, but it is interesting to learn about it, and it's going to make you go to your Google search and figure out, like, how much of this actually happened.
Mm.
I'm going to give this one a popcorn and 2. Freaky Tales.
Wow. All right, Freaky Tales. What up, Too Short?
I think you're gonna really like it. I think both of you really like it, but I really wanted to hear Jordan's opinion on
Yeah.
some of what I said. So I hope that he watches this episode back and that he decides to watch Freaky Tales, available on HBO Max. Josh, anything you want to say before we get to the drunk classic?
Um. Yeah, I didn't watch for hardly anything. I started an anime show on Netflix. If you guys are into anime or you're curious, Dandadan is kind of new, and it is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in a long time. It's weird. And when you think you know where the show's going, you're wrong. It changes genres. It's such a weird show. So if you want something fresh, check out Dandadan. I'm in the middle of season 1. I'll probably finish it season 2 soon. It's currently running right now, so there'll be new episodes. Yeah, check that out. Otherwise, I can't wait to hear this drunk classic, dude.
Well, we're in the 80s, right? And we're going to be at the end of the 80s. I've got 2 films that I'm still on the fence with. So one is a Oscar nominated film that stars a very well-known actor. It is, some would say, poetic. And then I've got another one that is a cult classic. It was a favorite of mine as a kid, and it stars scientists and a robot. What do you want to
Not that
watch?
one. Not that garbage. What's the first one?
Dead Poet Society,
All right.
starring Robin Williams, is going to be my drunk class. You said not that one. That just means it's going to come later down the road. You you
No.
you didn't avoid danger. You just missed it for the moment.
Ah, it's got brown face on it. We're not doing brown face on the show.
Oh, you knew exactly what movie I was talking about.
Yes.
All right. So, so we're gonna do Dead Poet Society, 1989, starring Robin Williams, as I
Very good.
said. We've got our butter on top. It's going to be, there's quite a few movies coming out in theater, but we're going to go with the one that everyone is talking about currently, directed by Darren Aronofsky. This is Caught Stealing.
Looks good.
Man, he's taking a big swing here, man. So it better be good. The amount of
Oh
money that
wait,
they're putting into them. Go ahead.
I was thinking of Roses. I don't know what the caught stealing is. Okay,
So it's
can't
Austin
wait.
Butler, Zoe Kravitz.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
Cool.
yes, Rose, you nailed it. Roses also comes out. And then some fun for the kids, Josh. The Toxic Avenger.
That's not for kids, dude. I promise it's not going to be for kids.
So I used to have the little action figure of the melted face guy
Me
with
too.
like,
Yeah. That's Dinklage. That's who he's playing.
yep, yes it is.
Very
So
cool.
we got
You
three
get some
out. Like
choices.
we there are reasons to go to the movie theaters right now. But if you can't make it or you don't want to, we're just going to really quickly graze over where you can watch all the movies we went over. Now, Americana and Honeydome are both in theaters currently. For a lot of you, they're probably not going to be at the big, huge movie theaters. You're probably going to have to go to an art theater or one of the theater that has like 24 screens or something like that to watch those two movies. Like I said about Saving Silverman, that is available on Pluto TV. And then, of course, we've got 48 Hours that's available for you on Netflix. The Night Always Come, also on Netflix. The Monkey is available on Hulu or Disney Plus. Killing It, the full series, is available for you on Peacock, and Freaky Tales is available on HBO Max. Josh, where can they watch that anime?
It's on Netflix. Dandadan.
Dun 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 dun. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us each and every week here on Popcorn and Beers. You will see us at the movies. You get the popcorn, we got the beer.